Hey guys, welcome back to my channel via Glow. If you're new here, my name is Gloria and I'm a full-time reseller on multiple different apps and I resell clothes and shit. So in today's video, I'm actually going to be doing a recap of the month of November. I will go over $30 sales and over, and then I also want to talk about how many sales I sold on each platform, how each platform performed, and then talk about some things that I may have changed or may have not changed that either helped or hindered my sales. And then I also want to share how many items I listed as well. So if you think you might be interested, please stay tuned. All right, so first I listed a total of 261 items for the month of November. Now that is actually a little bit more than what I would generally list. So I list about 240 a month, so it's only like 20, but it's still a little bit more than I listed, only because the last week of November I actually tweaked some things, and you guys will know about that in January when I talk about December. But I, for the most part, listed my 5 days a week, 12 items each day, and I was really consistent. I don't think I missed any days, so we love that. I did sell 153 items, 86 items on Poshmark, 52 on eBay, and then 14 on Mercari and 1 on Curtsy, which is just like wild to me. All right, so I'm actually going to talk about some sales that I had over $30, so let's just jump right in. The first one is actually this good old bundle on Poshmark. It is a Ralph Lauren bundle. I actually sourced this t-shirt, or I guess the dress shirt, earlier this month, or I guess earlier in November. And then this polo sweater, I sourced that exact same day of it selling. So I was really happy that they came in and bought it immediately. That sweater was like Angora, cashmere, and wool blend, so I was like, this is gonna do great. I had only wished it was a larger size because I knew I could have got more, but this bundle did sell for $40. It wasn't terrible. I probably could have waited out and got maybe $8 more, but like, let's be for real, I'm fine with it. All right, so this is from my personal closet. This is a She Fit bra. Now I actually got this soon as I had my son last year because the boobage was boobying, okay? So I needed something to gather me, and you know, this didn't fit. So I kept it, and I kept it for a very long time, almost a year now, because I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna be able to fit in it, I'm gonna be able to fit in it, and girl, was not able to fit in it. So I was like, you know what, let me list it. This literally sold the exact same day. This bra retails for $80. This was still brand new. It had all of the bells and whistles still with it, so I didn't want to list it too high. This is a Miracle Suit one piece. I was happy to find this at the bins. This is an amazing brand to pick up in general, but if you find it at a thrift store, I would also pay $5 for it because the brand sells amazingly. I was hesitant when I found this. I want to say it was in November when I found it, to list it in November due to the fact that it is a swimsuit, but I went on and listed all of my swimsuits every time I find them at the bins, because that is one item that I don't come across enough to be able to hold out on it, because people are going to be looking for swimsuits all year round. This is a new to me brand called 𝕊𝕄𝕄𝕇. Never heard of it, but the quality of it looked great. I picked them up. They were like these snowboard skiing pants. Had them listed, I want to say at $48, because the brand does retail for a lot, but somebody came in with a $25 offer. I countered at $30 because that was going to be my bottom line, and they accepted it, so I was really happy about that. But if you find this brand called 𝕊𝕄𝕄𝕇, I would definitely say look into it and check the sell-through rate for the item that you find to make sure you can get a good sale off of it. This is a Nike sweater. I actually sourced this over the summer, listed it over the summer, and I was like, you know what, it's a 2X, somebody's gonna buy this really quickly. Absolutely not, okay? This one sat around until the fall time to sell, so I was happy that it did sell for my full asking price. I do remember I received an offer on Mercari that summer, but it was like a low ball offer, and I was like, absolutely not, because I knew since this was in excellent condition, it was a 2X, it was going to sell for a decent amount. So I waited around, and you know, 6 months later it finally sold. All right, so this is a brand called 𝕃𝔸𝕊𝕋. I've picked this up a few times. This one was 100% cashmere. It had no flaws to it, so of course I was more inclined to grab it, and I did. This one didn't take that long to sell. It was an offer that was sent to them, and they accepted it. This was a new to me brand called Crimson Clover. I, ironically enough, this is a long time ago when I found this, because I remember the day that I found it, and the bins were like organized in a different way. I literally just saw the print and I'm like, this looks so cheap. So I threw it back down, and I was like, you know what, girl, it's $1, pick it up. Picked it up, looked into the brand, I'm like, oh wow, like really, Gloria? So since then, that's why I don't even care if it looks cheap. I'm still looking into it because you just never really know. So this one is a great brand. Like I said, it's called Crimson Clover. Never heard of it, but this is like a great outdoorsy brand. So I listed this one pretty high because I did want about $40 to $50 for it. This is an LL Bean sweater. I also listed this over the summer and it just sold in November. So this is just going back to what I told y'all in that other video, that I am over listing items that are not in season just because the listing, it relisting, it sharing, all of that is just too much when I can just list it for the time that it's going to actually sell, you know. So this one did sell through an offer to likers. My bot sent them an offer, they accepted it. This is a Banana Republic dress. I was actually happy that this sold for my full asking price. This is not a brand that I can get over $20 for. So when this dress sold for $32, I loved it. And I think it's because it was a newer style, so that's probably something that I need to consider. This was another great sale. It was a j.crew blazer. Everybody that's in the reselling community talk about j.crew blazers. They are a hot commodity, honestly and truly. Of course, this one was a size 12. It was in this really beautiful camel colorway, and the girls love tan colorways. This is a Agnona dress. It was 100% silk, new to me brand. I remember it was a designer brand if I'm not mistaken. This one did take at least about 3 months to sell, I want to say, because it was relisted on Poshmark, and I was really happy that they bought it for my full asking price. And if you see the brand Agnona, especially if it's a great fabric, great size, pick it up. This was a fun pickup at the bins. Of course, it is this Christmas blazer. I did also list this in July because I just was like, you know what, I sourced it, I listed, whatever, but it didn't sell until November. So yeah, full asking price sale, we love it. This was a good old bundle deal. I believe this one sold at $60. This is a great brand called Packed. Found this at a regular thrift store. I think I paid $3 for it, and this one sold the exact same day of me listing it, so that was a very quick turnaround. This is a new to me brand called Baggu. Ironically enough, I found these, of course, at the bins, and I just thought they were so cute. I tried them on, I couldn't fit them, and I was really upset because I would have kept them. But I ended up listing them, and they got instant attention. I want to say when I first listed it, they literally got like over 20 likes. Each platform, it had over 10 likes, and I was just like, man, why aren't these selling? Because when I saw the sold comps, they were $40 to $50. So I'm like, I want that for it. And this actually is a great brand called Baggu. So I'm like, you know what? I'll wait around. Somebody came in after they were relisted and sent me a $30 offer. I said, you know what? Shoot or shoot. So yes, they're yours. j.crew blazer. It is a wool blend blazer. I actually had this for almost a year, I want to say. So I did wait around for the right buyer. This was relisted multiple times and it finally sold. I think somebody was trying to lowball me on Mercari at one point for $20. And I was like, no, because I'd already checked the sell-through rate and the comps for Zara blazers that were wool. Of course, this was the tan colorway. The size was not there, so I couldn't list it for more. So $40 is where I wanted to sit at, and it did pretty good. This is a smart wool like tunic. I was really happy about this sale just because I had just sourced it at a buy sell trade store. It was new with tag, size large, everything. So when I got home, listed it. I didn't want to list it too high because y'all know I'm in the space of getting a quicker flip. So I could have listed this for at least about $120 and then sat around to get $100, but I listed it at $85 and my boss sent them an offer. They accepted it and we got it out the door within a few days. This is a new to me brand called Stafford. The only reason I picked this up is because it was camel hair. That was the only reason. And honestly, looking back on it, I'd probably pick it up again. But I did list this over the summer and of course it sat around, but I received a $20 offer. I countered. I think I had it listed at $50, I want to say. I countered, they countered, we went back and forth, and then we eventually landed at 30. And you know, I'm okay with that. It was a bins pickup. These are some Corky's boots. Actually sourced these beginning of the year, so like maybe March or even February. Had them listed at like $65, y'all. I just kept, I think I got a low baller at one point. They sent me a $20 offer and I'm like, We went back and forth. I even jumped in their bundle and was like, hey, I'm only going to this amount. They said, well, I'm on a budget, da-da-da, can you help me, da-da-da. I was like, no, this is the lowest I'm willing to go. And then, of course, they were relisted, and here we are. So my bot sent them an offer for $36, discounted shipping. They accepted it, so yeah. I don't know. This was not a Ben's pickup. I actually found these at a regular thrift store, so I probably paid like $8 or $9 for these. But I know moving forward to price them accordingly, because even then in March, February, I wasn't pricing good enough. I was pricing at what I wanted, not what the market said it's worth. So that is something to always consider, is to make sure you are picking up an item, regardless of how you feel about it, what the market is telling you. Granted, if it's like a one-of-one piece, then yes, you can, you know, decide the price. But if it's something like this, like, pay attention. This is a Ann Taylor leather suede long line dark academia jacket. So I picked this up at the Ben's. I don't really like picking up Ann Taylor because it sits for me, and this was more of a style pickup than anything. The size wasn't there. I think it had to be like a size 4. But the colorway and the fabric alone sold it. So I did list it kind of high. I wanted to get $50 minimum for it, and I did. It only took maybe like 3 or 4 months to sell, so I think that was a really good flip. These are a pair of Joe's jeans. I am happy that these sold for $40, just because these ended up being returned on eBay because the size, they couldn't fit it. So when I received this offer many months down the line, because I think they initially sold in like March or April, so here we are. And they finally sold again, so that was my full asking price, and I was really happy about that. These are some Beta brand pants. Found these at the Ben's, and I was a little reluctant to pick them up just because they were a small petite, but I said, you know what, they're in excellent condition. They're a different colorway than the normal black that sits forever, so I said, you know what, let me just go ahead and get them. And they sold for my full asking price, I want to say within a few days. These are a pair of Levi's wedgie jeans. This is also a pickup that I found at the Ben's, and I'm really happy about it because the price point for it was really good. Wedgie has definitely declined, but it is a brand that I would still pick up at the Ben's, even at a thrift store for like $4 or $5, because I think that they will still flip between $35 to $40. This was a really fun find because I literally went off of just like vibes. I looked at this shirt, and I know that it's kind of dark, but I have like a dark sense of humor, so I thought that it was kind of cute and funny, and I'm like, somebody would like this. It literally says we're all gonna die, and then it has like ghost, and then of course the sun and the sky, and it just looked really like funny. Like, I just look at it and it looks funny, so took it home and I listed it at $38 because I wanted about $25 to $30 for it. Somebody came in and bought it for my full asking price within a few days. And yeah, I'm happy. This is like one of those one-offs. I couldn't find anything on this item. I Google lensed it, couldn't you know, pinpoint it. So I'm hoping that I didn't undersell it, but I've never saw something like this before. And this kind of goes back to what I was telling y'all before. If you have like a one-of-one, you can price it at whatever you want to price it at, because if it's not out there, like, somebody is willing to pay up for it. And I do think $38 for an unbranded tee is kind of good. All right, so moving on to eBay. These are some Madewell trousers. Found these at the Ben's, and I was really shocked that they were from summer of 2023. So these are very recent. The sold comps all were like new with tags, but they were different colorways, and they were selling for $65. Of course, I priced mine at about $55. Priced it at $40 on eBay. These took a little over a month to sell, and they sold for my full asking price, so we love that. This was a new to me brand called The Great. I found this at my former honey hole, and I was really happy because I never go through the blouses. I actually hate going through blouses. That is like the only thing that I absolutely pass up every time I go to a thrift store. But something told me to just skim through them, and I'm so happy that I did, because this one sold for my full asking price at $55. Again, the brand is called The Great. It is a great brand to pick up. This is a brand called Citizens of Humanity. I didn't know anything that much about this brand, but I knew that it sold for a lot of money retail wise, and I picked these up. They were in excellent condition. I mean, literally they could have been brand spanking new, and I listed them. End up having them under the wrong size tag. Somebody reached out, was like, hey, you say that these are 34 by 34, the size tag says 38. And I go look at it, and I was so upset because these had like 5 watchers on eBay. So I'm like, what's really going on. So I went on and I told him like, thank you so much, I'm so sorry, ended the item, relisted it, changed the size to 38. These literally sold the next day. So I was just like, okay, I guess it wasn't that bad. All right, so this was a bundle sale. This particular bundler is somebody that watches my channel. Hey girl, hey. And she bundled these items. She let me know like, hey, you know, there's quite a few items that I see in your closet that I actually want. So she got all of these bundled up. I finally put them in a post, and she tells me like, hey, there's more, but she had already paid for them. So I'm like, oh man. So one of the items that she additionally wanted as well, I told her that I wouldn't be able to just like give it to her for free, but I could give her the other item for free, because the other item I ended up buying for myself, but I couldn't fit it. So I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna sell it. So it kind of was technically like a free situation. So I'm like, I have no problem giving that to you for free. But the other item, this item had like 4 or 5 watches on eBay, maybe 5 or 6 on Poshmark and Mercari. So I'm like, I can't give that one away, but you know, maybe the next time you get something. And she was like, no, it's fine, just create another bundle and I'll buy them, you know. And I was like, oh, that's so sweet, because like I said, I fully planned on giving her one of the items for free, but she was just like, no. So anyways, I said all that to say, this was the first bundle. I believe it's 5 pieces. The second one was 2 pieces. That one was only $20. I gave her a really good deal. I essentially gave her the pants for free and then like a discount on the other item. But since she said she was a viewer, I was like, let me help her out a little bit, because, you know, if you are from a different country, I think that it's great that you're even watching me here. So if you're watching this, you know, hey girl, hey. And I think she says she's from Europe, I want to say. All right, so these are some J. Crew Bowery pants. Looking back, y'all, I'm gonna be honest, I probably could have got at least another $15 to $20 for these, but I priced them accordingly. So these sold fairly quickly. I would 100% pick these up. If you see these at the bins or a thrift store, I would pick them up. This was a new to me brand called Allie Miles. I actually always see this brand at the bins, but I never picked it up because I never felt drawn to it. But this one I did, and it felt like it was in a like new condition. So I was like, you know what, I can make sure that I use art to wear, because the girls love art to wear, okay? And this one literally sold within a few days for my full asking price. So moving forward, I am gonna 1000% pick up art to wear pieces from this brand and don't count it out like I have been. So these are some teaks that I found at the bins. I was actually really shocked that these were at the bins. I'm like, literally, I am a person that goes to the bins and I look at picked over bins always. I never go to new bins unless it's nobody there. I don't like being elbow to elbow with people, and I like my personal space, so I never go to those types of bins. So when I was just casually browsing and I saw these, I'm like, what the hell? So I hurry up and grab them, and then of course they do have flaws to them, so I did not list them high. These actually sold for $42, not what is stated on the photo, because I believe I sent out offers and they accepted it. So I think $40 on an item that I got for $1, I'm completely okay with. These are some Judy Blue pants. I actually hauled these in a regular like reseller vlog, and these sold fairly quickly. I want to say in like under a week. So I love that. This price point was great for me because I have been struggling with some Judy Blue items, but I think that when you pick up a style that people actually want, you know, you're gonna get a sale. So this is actually an Eileen Fisher like sweatshirt top. I do think I could have got a lot more for this, maybe $45, so an extra $10. But I didn't want to price it high because I did get this at the bins and it was in excellent condition. It was a size medium, because I do believe if it was a larger size, I probably would have priced it a little bit higher. But I went on and had it, you know, drop down because I did run a sale at the very first weekend of November, and they got it for that discounted price. These are some Levi's Low Pro jeans. Got these from the bins, and I was actually really hesitant on picking them up because they just didn't look like they were worth it. But I'm glad I looked into them because they are a current style. So if you find Levi's Low Pro, definitely pick them up. These literally sold the next day. I want to say listed it the night before, and then they sold the next day. And this was, of course, on that sale. And this is the last piece that sold on eBay. This was a really fun pickup. I sourced these at a thrift store. I did pay $10 for them, and I knew that I was going to get a good amount on my little investment. So these sold quicker than I thought they would have. They got immediate attention. I think I had maybe 5 to 6 watches vouchers on this item on eBay. So I'm just like, you know what, I'm not going to send out anything aggressive because it looks like this is a great, you know, pickup that I got. So when I ran that sale for the first weekend of the month, this person came in and bought it for that price point. So I was really happy about that. All right, so moving on to Mercari pathetic sales. The first one is actually this Theory 100% turtleneck sweater. Found this at the Bins in excellent condition. So this kind of really goes back to what I was telling y'all before. The size, the colorway, the style, the fabric, everything was in this. So I knew I was going to get a good amount for it, and I did. I had it listed at $65 because I really wanted to get $50 for it. They sent me a $52 offer. I was like, of course, it's yours. I know that a lot of resellers talk about Theory just being like not that girl, but I think you just really have to be mindful at what you're picking up and the sizes you pick up, because I do have a great sell-through rate when it comes to Theory. You just want to price it correctly. Like, don't price it just because it sells for $200-300, you price yours at $100. Like, be fucking for real. Like, price it at a price point that the market is telling you. The market was telling me about $40, but I said, you know what, 65 is gonna have to do. So when it sold at 50, I'm like, that's perfect. We got a happy medium here. All right, and then the last thing to sell on Mercari over $30 was this American Eagle Y2K puffer jacket. I had this price pretty high. I did list it over the summer, and it did get attention all throughout. And I finally dropped the price because I'm like, okay, nobody is trying to buy it at $40. Dropped the price to $40, and then somebody sent me a $30 offer, and here we are. So I do think that was a really good pickup. So just to kind of end it off with the sales, I did make one sale on Curtsy. Like I told y'all, it was over $35, and it was a pair of Vince work trousers. All right, so moving on to the recap portion. So first, I want to talk about Poshmark, of course. I literally didn't change anything for the month of November. That 25% off offer to likers that I set way back in August has still been running, and it has not changed. And I think that that also kind of helped me kind of stay afloat on that platform. Even though I dropped under 100 sales, I do think that it still kind of kept me afloat in a way. On Black Friday, y'all, I attempted to do a sale. I did 35% off. Now, I know. I'm actually one of those people that's like, if it ain't 50% off, it's not a sale. But me personally, since I price my items a little bit lower, 35% off was great. Okay, 25% off is great. So 35% off is even better. But nobody, I take that back. I think I got maybe 6 or 7 sales. But since they were like $16 to $20, I didn't bother, you know, doing a ship with me video because the sales for that weekend was not that great. So I skipped that weekend. So I only, you know, made the 6 or 7 additional sales aside from the ones that were accepting my 25% off offers. So it really wasn't much of a difference there. Poshmark just, you know, clearly went down a little bit because of the holiday, so I can't really be too upset about that. On eBay, I didn't run a sale. As I told y'all before, the beginning of the month, I ran a sale for that one day. So for that Friday, I want to say, I ran a 10% off sale, and then I realized, you know what, I'm running a sale, and then I'm also sending them offers. I'm not doing that anymore because I feel like eBay is starting to turn into Mercari for me, and I don't want that. So I feel like on Mercari, I gotta sell stuff for like damn near dirt cheap in order to get it out the door. I don't want to do that for my eBay because that's what's happening. I'm listing the item for a very, very, very reasonable price point, which is lower than, for the most part, lower than what market is saying. And then I'm putting it on 10% off, you know, running for my whole closet, and then I'm sending out an additional 10 to 15% off to offers to likers. And it's just like, girl, like, what are you doing? So that's why I'm like, something's got to stop, you know, and that's why I stopped doing the monthly sales. I still send offers. I don't mind sending those, and I always cap it at 15%. So if you are somebody that has liked something in my eBay closet, you're not getting more than 15%. I'm letting you know that right now because the price point is already low. If you look at my price point and look at what is available, mine is going to be cheaper. Okay, so there's that. All right, y'all, my battery died, so I'm here again. Anyways, so on Mercari, I actually, instead of me bringing in the item from Poshmark, so you already know I import from Flip. So I do all my listings on Poshmark, and then I import them to Flip from Poshmark, and then I cross-list them to eBay and Mercari. So when I would do the cross-listing part for Mercari, I would initially drop the price down between 10 to 20% depending on what the item is, and I would just start it just like that. So The same way I dropped the price down on eBay, I would do that for Mercari, and I did that all of November, and it still didn't like do anything different, because the goal here is to get the price point that I want for the item. So if I list an item for $25, in my mind I want $18 to $20 for this item. So if I have it listed at $32 on Poshmark, guess what? If somebody sends me a $20 offer, I'm accepting it. But my bot is going to send them a $25 offer, and let's say they counter at 18, I'm still going to accept it, because in my mind, like I said, that is the price that I want. So when I get to eBay and I price my item at $21.99, which is $22, I already know that I'm going to be sending them out a 15% off offer. So that's going to get me like around $20, $19, $20, still above that $18 that I want for that item. Move on to Mercari. I will price that item at $25, because I know that somebody's going to send me an offer for $20, or even ask me, can I do 18? And that's the thing. So it's like, I'm not trying to be like sneaky in any way, but I'm just saying, like, the way that I'm pricing everything is to make sure that I get what I want for it. You get what I'm saying? So that's just where I'm at. So I like to import, drop the price to the price that I know that if they sent me that 25% off cap that Mercari allows, I'm gonna make exactly what I want on that item. So there's that. All right, and then of course with Curtsy, I stopped doing Curtsy in the middle of November. I had an issue with when I would sell an item on a platform, I would go to delist the item, or I guess it would be unlist the item, unlist it, and then the next day when I make more sales and they, you know, sold or whatever, I would go back on there and I would unlist those items, and then I would notice that the items that I previously unlisted, they're back listed, and I'm like, wait a minute, how long has this been happening? So that's why I was just like, you know what, I can't do this. And honestly, just the upkeep for another platform is hard. And like I was saying before, Curtsy is really a platform for 18 to 25-year-olds. Like, I'm not even being funny. It is strictly for those age groups. And I have a lot of mature brands, and I had over 800 listings. They don't have a bulk feature, so I couldn't go in to kind of tidy it up or in any way, and I just don't like that aspect of it. So that's why I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna just stick to the 3 platforms that I have and just call it a day. Once Flip opens up Depop, then I'll open up my Depop again for like the 4th time. But until then, I don't need any extra work. I am a one-woman show. I'm literally doing everything on my own, and I have no help. And I'm doing YouTube, and I'm a mama. Okay, so it's a lot. You get what I'm saying? So I need to make sure that I'm using all of my time wisely, and I don't think that adding an additional platform that requires a little bit of attention from me, it's not gonna work. You get what I'm saying? And I'm a control freak. Like, I already know that I am. So me not being able to control that platform in the way that I'm able to control eBay, Mercari, and Poshmark, it doesn't work for me. Okay, it does not work for me. But the customer service is amazing over there. That's what I can say. They literally trump even Poshmark's customer service. So I'm just saying that. Curtsy, and I do think it's because they're more like intimate, you know what I'm saying? Like, they don't have a whole bunch of people working for them. It's like maybe 3 or 4, you know what I'm saying? So I think that's why they are so much more better at the customer service, because they are just so sweet, and I just love them. And if a Curtsy employee is watching, y'all are amazing. But yeah, all in all, the month of November, like I said, wasn't terrible, but it wasn't the best. October is shaping up to be probably the best month of my year so far. It beat out May, which was the best month that I had ever had out of 2023. So November, I'm hoping that December is going to be amazing, but from the start of it, I'm a little worried. It might do the exact same thing it did in November, but I do think that with me listing more, I think that might offset the difference, you know, because I feel like for this month, I was almost missing like half of a paycheck. Not necessarily, like, I still made over what my like bare minimum is, you know, but I didn't get to shoot for the stars. Like, it didn't perform as good as October. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching this video. Please let me know how your month of November went, and I'll see you guys in the next one.